Hey there, guys, gals. Capture? Capture you there? Oh, there we go. Alright. Here we go. Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Your buddy John Megacycle here. This is our recap of the last tournament that we had, is Trucklord. We opened up 10 servers, and I believe 8 folks finished. We had 2 people that just weren't able to play. Let's see here. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, so we had 8 total contestants. Turned out pretty darn well. It's the biggest turnout that we had so far, yeah? So you can see some of these have 0 in the listing and 13, so we have 2 that didn't complete. I already gone through and I already tabulated all the winnings. Let's talk about this tournament before we get into it, right? Oh, start recording and all the cats want a piece. There we go, alright? Hi, how you doing? Squeaky chair, I know. This is the Truckload tournament. The gimmick of this one was going to be limiting how many vehicles people could use. So for us, what that really meant was I limited everything down. Actually, let me pop up in the official rules that we used. Oh, let's see. I might have blanked it out already in Discord. My goodness. The mainst of it was unlimited trucks. I allowed everyone to have like 5,000 trucks, but only like 4 trains. 8 aircraft, and a handful of boats. I think like 20 boats or something. So what it really came down to is this was a far, far stronger emphasis on trucks. Turned out pretty well. I was actually really happy with my run. Had a bunch of issues with my run in general, but I think it turned out really well. Let me get the official rules. Oh, here we go. 512 by 512 map size. Our maximum loan was 500,000 USD. Yeah, 4 trains, 8 aircraft, 20 boats, but 5,000 trucks were allowed. The duration of the game was 1980 to the year 2000, so 20 years is kind of what we've been running with these tournaments. Working out pretty well. Everyone had 2 weeks IRL, 2 full in-life weeks to play the game at any speed they wanted. And I hosted an individual server for everybody. So you can see this here. It auto-paused when people left. No problem. Yeah. Turned out pretty well. So we're going to go from the bottom up to the first player. And I just had the list of everyone's scores. Give me just a second to get that one. Yeah, we'll just do it from the bottom up, and then at the very end, I'll repost the tabulation like I have with the other videos. And that's going to kind of be that. So let me get... We're getting there. Hang on. Just a second. Discord's fun, and I like using Discord, but the search function is sometimes really iffy for me. I don't know if that's just a me thing or what, but here we go. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to pop up in my thing here. We're going to go to server 0. I got the password here. Server 0. This one is squishychew is the player's name. Make sure I have that pronounced. Squishychew, yep. They are the owner of the Lorry Lords. So let's go ahead and take a gander at what they got. Fairly solid income, and I just want to throw this out there. Squishychew, this is like the first time they played the game. So the fact they didn't go bankrupt was actually really impressive. I was pretty impressed. Absolutely, honestly, the game is... It seems fairly simple. It's maybe an easy to learn, difficult to master sort of a game. Let's go ahead and check out their total company value. 2.15 million USD. Now, every player can play in whatever format they want for cash, and when it comes to value denomination, the game auto-adjusts. So, like, for example, the UK pound, it's double. So when it comes down to it, this player might have played under the UK pound or some other different, I was going to say commodity, but that's not right. Some different currency. And the game would adjust appropriately because I'm playing USD, I'm judging everyone on USD, and that's how we're doing the figures. So, 2.1 million, bunch of rail, bunch of road, bunch of station tiles, but 75 road vehicles. Let's take a look at some of their routes. So, their train looks like passenger, go from place to place. Oh my goodness, individualized stations all over the place. Oh, wow. So, their first time playing again, let's take this into consideration. Linking some of these stations would have been a huge, huge plus. You can do that by holding control. I'll demonstrate that maybe later, and we'll see that with other players, but you hold control when you place a station, no matter what it is, and if it's close enough, it'll give you the option of what you want it to link to. So we got a lot of passenger routes here. We've got some industry stuff going on. Oh, looks like one of the facilities actually... Oh, okay. So that was cleaned up. But yeah, looks like some of the resources just shut down, didn't quite make it. I'm going to guess that was iron ore or something. Not sure. A little bit of coal action, yeah, for power plants. A little bit more rail here. I'm sure this is bringing product to this. This is a factory. It's going to produce goods, and the goods are being taken to a city. Yeah, very straightforward stuff. Yeah, no worries, no complaints about that. Quick pan around the map. Let's see what else we've got. Some more bus routes. They actually went for an airport. My goodness, that is very gutsy. Airports are set to a very high upkeep. We did a bit of the math when I did my run, I believe, if not Trucklord, maybe one of the earlier tournaments, and they cost a lot. You would need just full routes all the time, multiple aircraft, you'd have to really, really get in it for it to pay off. Literally any amount. This is a really good route here. Some iron ore. That gets to the steel mill. Steel mill makes steel. Steel goes to the factory. Factory produces goods, right? Smart plan there as well. Just another quick gander. I think that is the most of it for squishychew. Their company value was 2.13 million, 2.15 million, and that was over the 20 years. So, not too bad. Especially, again, first time playing, not bad at all. They even posted their Steam time, and their Steam time played was like under 10 hours. Like, yeah, 100%. Next is me, JMegs, and let me find my server and password. I'm server number 2. There's the password. Yeah, this works out really well. It's a little bit of administrative work on me for everyone to have their own server, but honestly, it's great. I can do my run. I don't have to worry about it for, I think, again, 2 weeks is how long we let people play. It works out really well. I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with it, how the whole thing pans out. Okay, John T. Megacycle Transport. I ended up with 23.6 million. So there's that. Take a quick look at my run. Let's get our vehicle count. 4 trains, 150 road vehicles, 6 ships. I don't actually remember doing ships, but this run is already a little while old. I started off here with the forest, and I really thought one way was the way to play, and I found that just to be a little more frustrating than it should have been. I honestly thought, while I was playing the stations could be also one way. They can't. So this was actually, I rebuilt this like 2 or 3 times to get this the way I wanted to. I wasted a lot of time. I'm going to be honest, I wasted a lot of time. Not only that, some of the towns that I was delivering goods to actually stopped accepting goods. Now, the way in which I did my run was I had 1 truck, outfit for lumber, come pick up lumber, wait until full, and then we're going to head over to the sawmill. My mouse wants to pay attention. There we go. Drop off the lumber, get refit, come pick up goods, take the goods to Gressbourne, and then come back here to the managed forest, change back to lumber capacity, and then pick up the lumber. So for the same truck, we had to do 3 routes. 1, 2, and then back for 3. Now, that works pretty well, but as I mentioned, Gressbourne, for me at least, and 2 other cities, stopped accepting goods. That's an issue because that cuts my profit margin down significantly. So I had some issues. The second one I think I worked on was this Finside one, and we had the exact same problem there too. Lumber, sawmill, town, lumber. Fairly straightforward, right? And all with the same truck. Because trucks aren't making any money. A lot of these routes aren't making money once they drop off the product, right? So you can maximize that by making a truck or a train or whatever, taking goods both directions. You can really beef up your profit margin that way really, really well. Really well. I've got a lot of little other routes going on. Some trucks I did also try an airport. You can see my airport here, and it just was not making it. I did the math, and I needed a full run, every single run, and it would just barely break even. I also had a very similar setup here where squishychew also set up iron ore to the steel mill. I was going to say iron factory, but that wasn't right. To the steel mill to the factory, factory to Dree's pool, which is where I dropped off goods. So I have a little cavalcade of nonsense here. I was really happy with that. That worked out really well as well. So for my train routes, I started off with passengers. I figured passengers would be a great way. Again, it takes care of transporting goods both ways. We maximize the value of our train as much as we possibly can. So the passenger route was actually my big chunk. That comes up here, and that's all it was doing was dropping off passengers. So we were getting some really good runs out of it. Yeah, there's still a fair amount there. The other thing I was doing was goods. Now, let me find our goods area. Where was I doing any of that? We did do a little bit of oil, I think. There's another lumber to sawmill to town. Here it is. Yeah, so here's where we were doing boats. So I was just getting a ton of goods, and 33 doesn't sound like a ton, but there was a fair amount. Does it say 700 crates of goods? Yeah, I was pretty happy with that. I think I had 2 trains just taking this all the way down, dropping them off at Prendingdon? Holy crap. No thanks, I'm fine. And that was a really profitable route. Again, limiting us to 4 trains, it makes these long-distance routes more difficult. Not impossible, but it's just more of a pain. We could have daisy-chained trucks, like have trucks load here, drop off here, and then just keep going, right? Load, drop off, and just do transfers all the way. That would have worked as well, but still really kind of meh. Anyway, I was really happy with my run. Last little bit here was a bunch of farms. Kind of the same thing, dropping off goods. And then I actually had goods from here all the way up to Dunville. So that worked out pretty well, I'd say. We were netting a fair amount of coin there. So that's me. My run, again, put me at 23.6 million. I was pretty darn happy with that. Yeah. No worries on that. Next up was Me226. Let's get their deal. They were on server 9. Boop. Okay, Me226 Transport. They walked away with 27.652 million. 750 road vehicles. So now we're seeing players that took the vehicles a lot more seriously, right? Like, there's a ton of stuff going on. Now, again, this is just a summary video. This is the first time I'm seeing any of these servers. I'm taking a very wide swipe because I didn't play these games. So I'm just taking a really quick overview, and I'm probably not doing any of it justice. I do see a massive, this must be goods, right? Yeah, it's a very big train. This is ridiculous. It's absolutely huge. A lot of pedestrian routes and such. Oh, we've got an airport here. I want to see what their profit was on airport. Aircraft. They must have shut that down because there's no profit from aircraft here. Fair enough. Fair enough. Lots of oil pickups. Oh, okay. Using this to probably pass it over, I would guess. Or pass it back. Interesting. These two are linked. This might be just for funsies. I'm not really too sure what's up with that. Not really too sure. But a lot of similar ones. Yeah, a lot of work with oil. Yeah, trying to use a lot of the stations. I don't know if there's a lot of resources that got missed. Lots of trucks doing lots of stuff. That's for certain. Yeah. Very heavy use on a lot of available commodities. Absolutely. What else we got here? Yeah, stations just maximizing how much space can be made here. I'm going to guess that's all linked up, right? Hestingstone Valley. My goodness, that's really difficult to say in a single word. That's Prendington Stonehave? It's like some of these town names are just ridiculous. But that's okay. hear thumping. The cats are awake from their naps. I do apologize. One of my cats was fighting their shadow for like an hour today while I was in the middle of a meeting. And I'm like, that's really adorable, but holy crap, that's annoying. So yeah, very similar setups here, making sure to maximize. And I'm already seeing and learning a lot that I could have done better with my run. I wonder what's the point of these individualized stations. That's interesting. I'm not too sure why you wouldn't link them together. Yeah, hard to say. Lots of this stuff, though, is all connected, just tons and tons of work. So way more effort, way more spread out. Yeah, I think there's a lot. There's a lot of lessons I could learn from a lot of the players. And that's honestly half the point. That's half the fun of games like this, is there's a lot of clear winners. There's a lot of clear folks that just didn't have enough company value to win. Honestly, for me, I didn't win at all. I was second from the bottom, but there's a lot I could pick up and learn from a lot of these other players, how their build styles work, how they function. Again, lots of utilization here, much more saturated workforce, yeah. Yeah, and then for their trains, which I kind of want to highlight, looks like goods. Yeah, and this goods goes all the way to Narnia, probably. Oh, wow, yeah. End to end. You want to maximize the distance? Yeah, for sure. Okay, so this is another goods area. Oh, they must have built this. Yeah, to kind of centralize the goods and then absolutely emphasize the goods. Goods could easily be dropped off there. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Let's take a look at the map. And if we could pop open that. Yeah, this gives a really nice overview of what's going on. I should have done that for the other two players. There you go. Okay. That was me 226. Solid work. Solid work. Okay, next on the list is Bo Gus with Keep On Truckin'. As in keep on truckin'. I like it. You are server 6. Now, I worked with this player. They already mentioned that they went to the year 2001. They should have stopped at the year 2000. It's no big deal. But I've already gotten their monies when it comes to the company value. So their company value here says 47.3 million. Adjusted, however, it's about 40 million. Now, realistically, the gap isn't so high that it's like we're matching dollar for dollar for dollar. So I'm not super worried about it. This can also be taken into consideration as to what they earn, what they lost, and what their profit was. This doesn't directly relate. Like, there could be some finagling here, but if they built more vehicles, it would have been taken out of this and gone to the total here against their revenue. So that's kind of why I was like, let's just nix 7 million out of that. So let's get their thing out here again. And that puts it at about, but I could just take it out of profit, because profit also takes into consider operating expenses and construction and all that. So I said about 40 million. 40.81 is where I was at, and that would have adjusted for their profit margin for the year 2000. So that's what we've got here. So almost half as many road vehicles as Me 226. But let's take a look and see what they've all got going on. Let's crack open that map again. I think this is a nice way to just overview. You got a lot of routes. Holy cow. Are these trucks? Where do we go? What happened? So mine to steel mill. The steel mill to mine. Is this going anywhere dropping off the goods? Radine is too small of a town. I don't know if any of the goods are actually being handled. Tons of steel. Let's take a look at that map again. Huh. Yeah, I don't know if there's an end route to this. I could be misreading this 100%. But that's okay. You don't have to carry all the way to the end of the production line. You could just do wood to a sawmill, and like that's it. Nothing's forcing you to go the whole route. Let's see here. Yep, this is most likely the coal mine that we saw before. Yep, to the power plant to the southeast. What else we got? We got what I'm guessing these are passenger buses. Yep. You're a mail bus, I'm sure. Oh, valuables. Oh, nice. Okay. That's a neat way to get that going on. Valuables have a really nice Let's see here. Where is it? Cargo payment rates. Valuables are at the top here. So if you can get them with a very short days in transit, you can get some of the best income right there. So let's disable all. Let's take a look at valuables and goods. So goods drops off slower, I would say, but maybe the same if we layered these on top of each other. Yeah, valuables are just really, really good. Let's take a look at where we have. Where is the bank? I'd like to see how many valuables it's producing. Just take just a little bit of a look into that. I can't find it very quickly, so we're going to open up the industry tab. And we'll just go to this bank right here. The bank is somewhere right there. It is. It's covered by the skyscraper. 54 bags of valuables. Yeah, you're not making a ton of volume. Loading up a train would probably be a real pain in the rumpus to get that to work. Now, I'm most interested in to see how people utilize their train networks, if I'm going to be honest. Trucks everywhere is exactly what I would have expected, but oh my god. So much goods. Yep. So this is bringing in just straight up oil. Oil's probably coming from, yep. 1, 2, 3. Nothing there. Yeah. But still, that's a lot of goods. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of boats mid-transit here. So good work with that for sure. For sure. Yeah, more of these longer stations and sections. So you're probably transporting goods. Yep, goods. So we've got goods from there and up. There's a farm. There's a farm. Yeah, that's some nice networking there. Coal's gonna go right to a power plant. Yep, no problem there. More transit set up there. What else? Anything else we really ought to highlight? More train work. Awesome. Yeah, we're seeing more of these underground train bits. And these tunnels, I don't know what the real math is. Probably they're way cheaper than bridges, or they're far more effective than bridges. Bridges have a speed limit on them. But depending on what kind of bridge you build, that can limit speed. If you're trying to just get really, really cheap about it, tunnels might be way more cost effective. I should really look into that. But still, some really good numbers. Keep on trucking. Again, we've adjusted them to 40.81 million. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. One more quick look. Anything else? Anything else to check on? This is quite a bit of a route here. What do we got going on here? Woods. So there was a managed forest that shut down. And then there's the sawmill. There's probably nothing assigned. Or if it is, yeah, just sitting, waiting in the wings with nothing to pick up. Yep. Okay. Well done from Bo Gus. Boop. Okay, next one on the list is Witters. Witters Transport. Go ahead and find Witters. Server 8. Oh. Oh, I thought my screen crashed. Witters is at 43.497. So let's just say 44 or 43.5 million. Right? Not too bad. They maxed out their ships, 20 ships, 8 aircraft, 4 trains. They maxed out all those. Interesting. I'd love to see the profit margin before we get any farther. What's a profit margin on some aircraft? $500,000. Not too shabby. These are all just 2 stations. So the stations themselves, I think, have like an annual upkeep of like $600,000 in maintenance cost. That's why I was saying, like, man, I gave it a swing and it was just not happy. It took a lot of effort to get it going on, but Witters might have had this on lock. I want to check this out real quick. 4 million in a year, about. Average that out, 4 million. That's not shabby. That would definitely take the cost of 2 stations. Yeah. Yeah, that's good for them. Good for them. They made that work. Okay, let's go ahead and open up the big map. The big map. Oh, wow. From a gameplay perspective, for the first 5 people we've looked at, right, there's a recurring theme, I think, in its distance. Now, for this tournament, we completely shut off the breakdowns. In the first tournament we did, and let's just do a little history recap real quick. In the first tournament we did, it was the 20-year challenge. I couldn't think, we didn't have like a really good theme for it, but what I did have was the same: play whenever you want. We'll give you 2 weeks in real life to enjoy whenever you want. You know, play 5 minutes now, 20 minutes tomorrow, whatever. It's up to you. But 20 years is still what we were aiming for. Now, given that amount of time, you can see these players stretching out way farther, doing. We all get the same map, but these players are doing more differently, right? So we've got how many freaking buses here? How many vehicles? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. When you don't have trains at your disposal, how do you make good with trucks, right? Many of the same connections here. I'm going to guess this is a goods train. Yep. And this is going to go probably to the other side of Narnia, right? Oh, okay. Seems like a little closer distance-wise than some of the other players, but that's not necessarily a problem. I'm going to guess this is dropping off. Got some passenger bus. Is this goods or mail? It's goods. Okay. Good goods stuff, right? Not too bad. And then this is the aircraft. So let's see the coverage of this whole thing. Yeah, that gets a really good coverage. Yeah, that gets the entire city. Now, was Penningbrook in Haventon? Was the other airport? Yeah, let's check the coverage on that sucker. Not bad at all again. Yeah, not bad at all. It looks like this is actually connected to everything. So there's air, there's ship. Let's see. Where's the stations at? Can I tell by the coverage? Oh, is that it? Yep, it's right there. That didn't seem... Yeah, that did increase the coverage. Oh, I could have told because the blue blocks are over there. 3,000 bags of mail. Holy crap, someone's not getting their letters to Santa. Something. It's going to be some unhappy kids. Yeah. The same thing here. I think this might be the longest route. I'm trying to see what's the longest truck route. Oh, there's also a truck route here as well. Oh, farms, right? There's probably some farms we're pulling from. Farm, yeah. Farm. So this is going all the way to here, right? Yeah, livestock, grain, steel. My goodness, that brought everything from everywhere to there. That's nuts. That's nuts. Now we do have another almost hemispherical distance set up here. Where's this guy going? Okay, iron ore goes to the steel mill, and then that steel mill is probably taking steel to the factory. That also looks like an iron ore truck to me. So what other plug-in we got? Yeah, another iron ore. Another iron ore. Yeah, another iron ore. Wow, I don't remember there being that much iron ore on my map, but still, well done. Brennington. It's still really hard to say. It kind of is, yeah. But that worked out really well. That worked really well for Witters. My goodness, that was difficult to say. Difficult to say. Yeah, long distance stuff, long hauls. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look again at their road vehicle count. Yeah, more on the low side. More on the low side, but not too bad. Again, I didn't expect everyone to use 5,000, but I didn't want them to be limited, given this is the Trucklord Challenge, right? So that was kind of the idea with that. So yeah, well done, Witters. Oh, let's get their money back out here. 43.5 million. Yeah, yeah, nothing to sneeze about that at all. Well done. Well done. Okay, next is Young Steely with the Toronto Transit Commission. Young Steely, where are you at? There you at. You are server number 1. Ba-da-ba. Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, Toronto Transit Commission. Let's go ahead and check them out. 53 million, right around there. Really big start. Absolutely. Yeah, 643 road vehicles, a bit higher on the number. Let's take a look at that map, see where that all pans out for us. Oh my lord. This is nuts. Oh, yep. And there's the thank you. After they did their run, they went and posted this on my Discord server, on the Megacycle Entertainment Discord server, and just thanks, John. That was really sweet of him. I'm still blushing about it. Yeah, yeah. I got that saved up for sure, for sure. Okay, what do we have for young Steely? We've got a lot of very long distance passes. Absolutely. Let's check out the trains first. The trains are in limited supply and what they can be used for. So I like to see how people use a scalpel rather than how they use an Acme branded bomb. You know what I'm talking about? The big ball that's painted black with the fuse coming out of it. Like, if you look at that, like anyone that's seen cartoons ever knows that's a bomb. It can't possibly be anything else. Same thing with like the plunger, the dynamite plunger. It's a red small box with the T coming out of it, and you push down on it, kabams, you know. That's what I mean. So I like to see the opposite. I want to see how people use the scalpel and how they're careful with it, as opposed to the bomb, aka the trucks, right? We've got tons of trucks. It's good to see the routes, but I'd like to see how people maximize their trains. So this is going to connect all the way down here. Looks like I'm seeing goods. Oh, that's a passenger train. Oh, maybe not goods at all. Oh, that's a bus. Hold on. Hold up. Let's do it this way. All passenger trains, really? Yeah, all passengers. No goods. No good shipments at all? Come on, you. Oil. Interesting. I think everyone else has been shipping goods around. Let's see here. Where can we find... Oh, okay. I think I found it. Oh my god. Oh, did Young Steely also do aircraft? Pretty sizable profit margins as well. Prendington, Setwood, Radian. That's 3. Setwood, Radian. Looks like 3 airports. That's not bad. The thing that was gonna be a little weird is if people went for like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 airports, right? That's where you're really cutting to your profit margin. You either have to double down on aircraft, or you're kind of screwed. But we already had limited aircraft to begin with. But I think this was used to pretty good effect. Tons of vehicles as well. Okay, so this is bringing oil. This is bringing goods. Oh my goodness. Okay. Where are you going? You're going to the traffic jam of 2023. That's where you're going. So you're either bringing oil or you're taking oil back. Okay, I bet you any money there's an oil well or something on there somewhere. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Wow. Dude's going from end to end to end to end on this map here. Okay, so that comes all the way. Where are we dropping off the goods? That's an oil train, right? I want to know where the goods are being taken. Oh my god. Okay, so the one-ways seem like they're used to very good effect here, I think. I completely lost track. Hold on. I completely lost what the heck I was doing. Where are you going? Prendington South. Right there. Oh, wow. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I thought more of the players were going to be a little more, cautious isn't the right word. Careful isn't the right word. Conservative isn't the right word either. I don't know what I was aiming for verbiage, but yeah, that's more oil. That's taking oil all the way. So the cross-country oil tycoon, Young Steely. My goodness. And this is something I wanted to bring up. I was talking to Young Steely, and when we first met, like months ago now, probably, and we were having a bit of a chat, and I'm like, hey, you're doing OpenTTD stuff on your server. I'm doing it on mine. This is great. Let's talk out some shop. Like, what have you learned? Like, help me understand. Like, you know, like having like a real cool conversation about it. And one of the things Young Steely made very clear to me was building towns, building cities was their like expertise. Now we're seeing that right here very clearly with all these road connections. Not so prevalent over on this side, but on this side you can see that there's extra extensions for the town and the city to grow around the transit network. Now, I'll speak on my run. One of the things I do is I all too often block in the town as much as I can to maximize my transportation stations. But this is still a really cool thing to see. Honestly, this is another thing I'm learning, even just in this broad swipe. Take a look at all the players, trying to see what they got going on. And again, summary video, not trying to take a ton of time for too many minutes, but there's a lot happening and a lot can be learned. That's one of the reasons why I say if you want to join these tournaments, have fun. It doesn't matter your skill level. Are you just trying to figure out the game? Are you an expert? Whatever. We're just here to have fun. And there's a lot of learning to be had. This is all really, really very cool. Yeah, well done, Young Steely. Young Steely is at, what was he at, 50-something million? 52, let's say 53 million USD. Not bad at all, yeah. Yeah, long hauling, for sure. There's that. Next on the docket is Cyber Psycho. Cyber Psycho, let's get their info going on. Cyber Psycho, they were server 4. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have the links to everyone's either YouTube or Twitch or whatever in the description of this video. So if you want to find out more about like the specific player, check them out for sure. Yeah. Check them out. Okay. Cyber Psycho ended on 66.6 million USD. I can't make that up. Actually, I think Cyber Psycho plays in British pound sterling or whatever. So it's even funnier that it turns into 666 American. Let's take a look at what they got. 4 trains, 510-ish road vehicles, 18 ships, no aircraft. They did no aircraft. So maybe they had the same idea that, other players have had. Like, the upkeep is ridiculous. So let's just not dink-a-dink around that. But anyway, let's take a gander at what they all did. Let's start off with the trains. There we go. All cargo all the time. So I'm seeing, let's just close all that crap. So very much, iron ore. Yeah. What do you guys got? Iron ore? Oh, grain. Oh, okay. Bring in stuff from all kinds of places. Oh my lord. Okay, that's a smart move. Yeah. So doing some of the long distance stuff by not just truck, but by bus, I think is pretty smart. You're going to get the most bang for your buck transporting the goods, right? So I think this makes a lot of sense. Oh, let's take a look at the map first. Gosh, I was just jumping right into it. This goes all the way to Penport Beaches. Yep, and then we've got all 4 trains. Yep, so there's the connection point. Just dropping off goods. Pretty straightforward, right? Looks like this might be picking up some stuff in a bunch of places. So is this, oh, it's another place to generate goods. Yep, there's our factory. It's going to turn grain and livestock into goods. Really straightforward stuff there, yeah. This is pretty much, I think this was the right play for trains, but we've had other players do passenger stuff, and like I said, that's what's really cool. You get different takes on how to do stuff. It's fun to see, right? My way of doing something might not be the way somebody else does it, and they might do it way better, and that gives me a nice opportunity to learn. That's my 2 cents about it. Yeah. Much longer routes than I did, personally. Yeah, absolutely. So there's lumber, iron ore. I'm sure there's going to be a steel mill somewhere. There it is. Yeah, absolutely. I really like these layouts right here. I think this was way smarter than my one-way setup. The one-way setup wasn't bad. It just took a little reworking to get it the way I really, really wanted it to be. Now, I'll have to ask what the point is of all these different stations, because I'm not too sure. I thought the way it worked is if you were the same company, they would actually compete with each other. But maybe that's not entirely true. So I'll have to ask around and see what's up with that. Let's go ahead and check out our map again. We've got some easy, easy tiger. We got some really long routes again. Yeah. I almost wonder if that connects to this. Holy cripes, let's take a gander. Let's take a little bit of a walk on the wild side, right? Yeah, still... Okay, that ends here. So these are not actually connected. Still, really putting the no breakdowns to full effect. So actually, let's talk about that a little bit. I think I jumped the shark a bit conversationally. Is during the first tournament, I added breakdowns. The reason why I thought breakdowns made sense was because it would force a player to be a little more careful on how they push their vehicles, and they would have to add service depots, or what are these called? Yeah, depots. They'd have to add depots every so often because a truck would go to the depot, get repairs, maintenance, upgrades, whatever, and then back on the road. I thought that was a fine game mechanic, but after talking with some of the folks and the other players from our first tournament, it really isn't. It's not a value add. And I tend to agree. I think this, without breakdowns, it really allows everybody to really expand on how far they want to go and how they want to do it. Yeah, some really excellent stuff. So what is this guy? It looks like nothing. Yeah, it used to be something. So maybe they started their run with passengers, and again, passengers being really important. Passengers aren't going to be usually aren't going to be the most profitable thing. I think this is at the bottom. So let's get our valuables and our goods right back out here. It's much lower per pound. Pound? Ugh, that sounded weird. Per person or per item or whatever. The profit value is a lot less, but again, you're pulling profit both ways. So that kind of evens that out a little bit, especially if you deliver it quickly. It pays out pretty well. So that's some of the benefits. It reduces how much maintenance you're paying for the same amount of effect. Effectively. So effectively you're paying for two trains because you're doing both routes with the one train, right? That's kind of the deal with that. Yeah, I can't get over how much I really like these kinds of stations. I thought these would just get too crowded and gummed up immediately, but I'm taking a bit of a fine look at some of these stations. I'm not seeing like dozens and dozens of trucks or trains sitting at these depots. Each of these depots, I think, can take care of 3 vehicles. So maybe do the math, right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. You can have 15 vehicles, no problem. It doesn't cause any issues. The reason why I did one-way streets was I was afraid, like, right here was going to be a bit of a bottleneck. So if you had, let's say, 30 vehicles with a capacity of 15, if they're all waiting on this stop, now trucks can't get out. So I might have to do some testing, but I like that star design, maybe? The way it just branches out like that? Or broccoli design, the way it branches out, maybe? I don't know. I don't have a good word for it. But still, very solid work from Cyber Psycho here. Yeah, this I want to know more about. I'll have to ask him. He regularly streams at this time OpenTTD, and he does some big, big, big maps. Like he's working on some cooperative maps lately, and it's a really good watch. So I'm just gonna leave that all like that. Well done, Psychotic Transport with 66.6 million USD. It just giggles a bunch, giggles a bunch. Okay. The last is Smurf or General Ravello. And they are what server? Server 7. Nope. That's not the password. Oh, by the way, I randomize the passwords every single time, so take your time guessing or whatever. I also vary the length. So, what is this? 2 cup for shoe? Cup for shoe. Sure. Why not? General Ravello ended at, I believe, so 94 million. However, it's the year 2001. So I rolled it back to 1 year prior, 81 million was what I came to. They also sent me a screenshot of where they were in the year 2000. They actually recorded it, and I believe they put it up on YouTube. So I'll have links to all that. I'll have links to all that. So yeah, this rolls back to 81 million. 81.61 million. So General Ravello is the winner of the tournament. 27 million. 4,000 road vehicles? What the hell? Oh my god. Gah. Okay. Let's try it. Let's try it. What do we got? Okay, goods trucks, right? Yep. Okay, goods trucks. Uh, holy crap. Uh, okay, oil, which closed up, fine. Uh, uh, I'm having, I think I'm having a stroke. What? Oh my god. I want to know where this goes. Okay. Okay, so this is where the one-ways work out pretty well. What the hell, man? Oh, there's all kinds of trucks on this line. Okay, I think I'm legit lost. Let's go back here. Uh... Wow. This is still... Okay. It's starting to peter down a little bit here. Peter out. Wow. How is there so much... Well, okay, I know how there's so much stuff here. Yeah, that's pretty smart. Now, we did set the cost of terraforming to be really expensive. The new GRFs I used was like a vehicle edition and a landscaping price change, and that's how that worked out in that regard. This is stupefying. Wow. I don't even know where these are trying to go. Okay, it's still this way. And then it's this way. And then, oh my god. Oh, I found a power plant. That's not what I was looking for, I don't think. A lot of map utilization. If I can say anything, there's a lot of map utilization here. Let's take a look on the outside a little bit first before we jump in. So a lot of terraforming, which must have been really expensive. It must have been really, really expensive. I knew I did not set that to be cheap. But this is a fine way to deal with it if you don't want to deal with ships and transporting, or no, what's it called? Transferring, right? So yeah, a lot of these setting up really nicely. What do we got for production on some of these anyway? 108, 108, 99. That sounds about right. Let's see, iron ore. I'm sure this gets added to something somewhere. My gosh. I'm not gonna lie, this is a little hard to follow. Excuse me. Like, how does anything actually get done here? I'm really impressed. 1,000 crates of goods, 600 crates of goods, yeah. Oh, we also didn't set a limit. If anyone wanted to fund their own industry, they could. Let me just demonstrate that really quick. How do I join somebody? There we go. You could fund your new industry, and not raw materials, but final product if that's something you wanted to do. That's how that works. My gosh. Yeah, I wanted to join this company because I wanted to see if any of this was moving at all. This is kind of the thing. Gosh, I was almost going to say I was worried about that something like this would cause too much of a blockage, but When you've got this many trucks, kind of who cares? Honestly, as long as one truck is loading constantly. I wanted to see if this line was going to move, and it is, and that's impressive. Now, General Ravello didn't use as many tunnels as I saw other players. I'm seeing a few more bridges, and that's not a problem. Stupid city. Oh my god. That's really incredible. Yeah, this is... I'm amazed if you guys ever make it out. So General Ravello proves size doesn't matter, but volume certainly as hell does. That's my takeaway. Look at all that. Holy crap. Just hand over fist with the cash. Yeah. Very impressive. Very impressive. I don't have any notes. I'm just stupefied with all this. This is ridiculous. And they are the one that got the closest to the actual vehicle cap. They were 80%. 80% of the way they would have actually if I set it to 3,000 road vehicles, and I'll be honest, I thought 5,000 was overkill. Getting kind of close here. So yeah, well done with all of that. Congratulations to all the players from the top down. Well, let's go from the bottom up, and let's show everybody's scores, yeah? It's squishychew, the Lorry Lords, with 2.15 million. J-Megs, myself, with John T. Megacycle Transport, with 23 million. Me226 with 27 million. Bo Gus, Keep On Truckin' with 40 million. Witters with Witters Transport for 43 million. Young Steely with the Toronto Transit Commission, 53 million, right around there. Cyber Psycho with Psychotic Transport, 66.67 million USD. And General Ravello with General Ravello's Transport, 81.6 million. So that's the whole thing. That's the wrap up for this tournament. Thank you all for joining me. My name is John Megacycle, and if you're interested in joining tournaments like this or want to see the action, feel free to join the Discord. You're more than welcome to join. It's open to the public. The only real rule is just, join the Discord so you can get communication, information, updates, and all that. Also, I'll have, as I mentioned, everyone's links below. If they have a YouTube channel or a Twitch or something, I'll have that all in the description below. Check out some of these players, see what they're all about. Maybe you'll find your new favorite streamer or whatever. So yeah, that's it for me. Thanks again, and I hope to catch you next time. Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Thanks for checking out my video. I also want to take a moment to thank all my supporters and donators, and if you'd like to join up with me and game with my crew, all the information to get connected is in the description below. Thanks again, and I hope to catch you next time.